Hi, this is Gary Rosenzweig with another episode of MacMost Now. The other day somebody mentioned the iPod and said it was just an MP3 player. Well, actually the iPod is so much more. Here's my 5th generation iPod, and it does a lot of little things that make it so much more useful than just an MP3 player. Let's go take a look at the top 10 things that the iPod does that makes it a cool gadget. The list of my top 10 favorite things that my iPod does for me doesn't include playing music. So number one on that list has to be an alarm clock. In an iPod, you can actually set different clocks. So you can set a different clock for different time zones. So if I travel from Colorado to California, I can make a California clock set to Pacific time and set an alarm there. Problem is, I have to make sure my headphones or a small speaker system are plugged in, else I won't be able to hear the alarm. But I like using it rather than trusting the alarm clocks in hotels. Too many times those things are set to AM when they should be PM and vice versa. Another thing I like is that I've got all my calendar events synced on my iPod, and it will give me alarms for those too. So if you don't have a cell phone like an iPhone that syncs with your Mac, you can still carry your alarms and events with you. Likewise, you also have your contacts with you. So if you need to get in touch with somebody and you don't have your laptop with you at the moment, you know you've got a backup of all of your contact information on your iPhone. This could be a lifesaver. One of my favorite things, though, the iPod does is it carries copies of all my photos on it. So when somebody whips out a picture of their kid, I can take my iPod out and show them 400 pictures of mine. Now, games on the iPod aren't that great. I mean, you have to play with the little scroll wheel. The ones that come with it aren't anything special, and even the ones that you buy aren't too great. But they really are great when you need to kill some time. When you've got a couple hours in an airport between flights, or you've got some downtime and you just don't have anything else to do. It's great to be able to play a game on the iPod. I like Texas Hold'em. That's my favorite. Another thing that I like to do with my iPod is I like to be able to listen to podcasts. Now, this goes without saying, of course. You're watching a podcast, so you know all about that. But it's so much more than just music. I'm amazed how many people have iPods, listen to tons of music, and still don't know anything about podcasts. Even if you just like music and you don't want to hear people talk, there are some great podcasts out there that have music in them. Another thing people like to do with their iPods, but something I don't particularly like, is using it to read books. Now, you can use some programs out there to convert books, text files that is, to notes and read them as a series of notes on your iPod. Now, it's a tiny little screen. It's not like the iPhone or iPod Touch, but still I can see it being useful. A little more useful than that is audiobooks. Now, you can go ahead and download an audiobook from various sources. There's some free audiobooks out there. You can also go to a service like audible.com and download audiobooks to iPod. This is so much more convenient in the old days when you had to use cassette tapes, or even now with CDs. You had to have a whole stack of them and listen to them. You can put tons of books on your iPod. Likewise, you can also use an iPod for training and education. So your company, you can possibly put out a training course or education course in audio files or even video, and you can watch it on your video iPod. Likewise, you can also do the same thing using the iTunes U. iTunes U is something you can get to through iTunes, and it's tons and tons of lectures that are available, a lot for free, you can listen to in your iPod. So instead of listening to music, you can learn something. Then, of course, there's always video. Now, video, of course, is a thing a lot of people forget about. You can get TV shows, you can get movies. You can also rip your own collection of DVDs or TV shows to your iPod and watch them. It's a lot more convenient than trying to bring those along with and watch them on a laptop, and the battery life is a lot better. Now, there's some functions that the iPod's missing. Other MP3 players, for instance, have FM tuners. Now, I hate FM radio because there's way too many commercials. But I could see an AM tuner being useful. I mean, then I can listen to baseball games. More useful would probably be a microphone and the ability to record voice memos, or just record the audio from a meeting or something. This is something that's in a lot of other MP3 players, and I'd love to see it in the iPod, or at least the iPhone, since it already has all the necessary hardware. What do you like to do with your standard iPod that doesn't involve playing music? Let me know. Leave a comment to this video post at macmost.com. Until next time, this is Gary Rosenzweig at MacMost Now.